Like I said, I wanted to start it earlier because the sunset's pretty nice today. Tonight, rather. Yes, and for those of you that are here, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever. Or wait till I piss you off and then hit the thumbs down. Whatever floats your boat. All right, all right. Hopefully this is on, but I won't know because I don't have any fucking. All right, Flown Grown, Keeble, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it, guys. Lisa, Cat Girl, James, Joe, thank you for the 5x5. Laura, Red Dawn, Tara, Jeep Girl, thank you for the 5x5. Black Wolf, Roseanne, Big John, Shady, No Juan, thank you for the 5x5. Yeah, Johnny 308 vertical. Again, when I do this on my phone, it'll be vertical. Inside it, on my laptop, it'll be horizontal. Liz, thank you for the 5x5. Johnny D, thank you for 5x5. Big Dog, thank you for 5x5. Yes, it's not a bad sunset. I mean, it looks better on camera than it actually does with the naked eye or looking at it. This is pretty cool over here. Oh, sorry. The cloud coverage over there is pretty cool. But like all day, every day, you had cloud coverage like this. You had clouds kissing the top of the mountains, if you will, which made it pretty cool. Anyway, let's get on with the show. So, my last video, my last live stream, got demonetized because I was talking about the current situation with the bird flu. So, apparently, they're already starting with that, and they're not taking videos down yet, but they're just demonetizing them for now. So I can see down the line in another couple of months they're gonna take the video down. Anyway, not the point. The point, guys, is if videos start getting demonetized, what I'm gonna start asking people to do is start sharing the video so that it makes its rounds. At the very least, it makes its rounds, right? Because when it gets demonetized, they like to take that away from you as far as views go, right? So anyway, moving right along. We're going to talk about strategies that are needed, guys, for the next bullshit that's headed our way. We undoubtedly have a situation growing, and I'm curious as to know, or rather to see how far this is going to go. We all know that this new event that's coming up, one guy just passed away from it, but he was in Mexico, to be fair, and he had comorbidities, right? So he had health problems on top of that. So being that he had health problems, nonetheless, the media is trying to stoke fear, I guess, with this nonsense. But again, all we have to do and all we can do, guys, is keep our eyes on the nonsense. And just be ready. Now, we definitely need a plan, guys, for what is coming up or what's coming down the pike, because I think a lot of people didn't see the Mr. 19 event turning into the event it did with the lockdowns and things like that. A lot of us didn't see us losing our jobs because of not going to work. And not because of the arm ticket, because, a lot of companies shut down and they weren't paying their employees. And a lot of places, they let their employees go because they couldn't handle being shut down. We could very well see that again, but I think with this, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot worse, because this is something, as they're saying it right now, people can pass away from it. But we have to, again, wait and see where it goes. Cat girl, the BS that is only going to get worse, right? It's not going to get better. It's not going to turn into an awesome situation. It's going to get worse over time, right? So if we pay attention to what's coming, we can sort of, for ourselves, fix it or make it better, if that's such a thing. But it's definitely not going to get better. Uh, we can make it better for ourselves. We can make it better for our individual situations, but it's not going to be better as a whole. It's just what it is. Now, what I want to talk about tonight is arm tickets being in food. Now, I again, light research on it, nothing heavy, but as of right now, they are putting arm tickets in lettuce, tomatoes, and for some strange reason or another, tobacco. I mean, yeah, I get it. A lot of people chew tobacco and smoke it, so that might be a way of getting it in there. But right now, there was a Tennessee bill. Coincidentally, I'm in Tennessee, and I learned about this bill, HB 0032 by Scott, I think it's Sapicki, if I said that right. It's a food and food product bill prohibiting the sale, delivery, or offering of sale of any food that contains any kind of arm tickets inside of them. Doesn't matter what the arm ticket's for or what variation of arm tickets in it. The Tennessee bill is actually protecting the people here in Tennessee. And of course, the guy that created the bill is a Republican, right? So anyway, guys, California University created this arm ticket or arm tickets to go into these foods. Now, I noticed the foods that they're using are water-based foods, right? Lettuce, tomatoes. I think watermelon's next, right? If you want to get to the Negro population, you'll definitely put it in the watermelon. So anything, I guess, water-based and food that you don't have to cook. I know a lot of people are nervous about it going inside meats like pigs and things of that nature. They get their own arm tickets for the various reasons that they say they have to protect that meat, right? Again, protect the meat. But to put an arm ticket for us in those meats will never work, because if and when you cook that food, the arm ticket is destroyed. And they've tried it numerous times and they can't seem to get it to work. Now, you have to be really, really, really worried if they get it to work past the cooking point. That means that whatever is in that meat and it survives that heat, that cannot be good for humans, right? So that's something to consider as far as them putting arm tickets in meats. I don't think it's going to work out. It's not going to work out. They can't get it to work right now. And I don't see them ever getting it to work without it being super potent and or super resistant. And if it's that resistant to cooking, who knows what it's going to do to the human body. So, again, when it comes to fruits that don't have to cook, I could absolutely see them putting it in there, and that's going to be a bigger problem. Anyway, it's a quiet night here in Gatlinburg. Wasn't a lot of people, and it's Thursday. Yesterday was really dead. I did an 8-mile hike, by the way, and yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing I don't like doing is quitting. But while I was on this hike yesterday, I remember saying I'm only gonna go for 2 or 3 miles. I went for an 8-mile fucking hike. Did I get to see some bears? Yes. I'm posting those pictures on the Angry Lensman Media channel and Angry Lensman Media Instagram page. But that walk was horrendous. Listen, I'm going to tell you what made it horrendous. What made that walk horrendous was the simple fact that everybody on that path were on an e-bike or a bicycle. So essentially, I was the only dick out of, I don't know, maybe 6 of us that were walking. Now, there were old people walking because you know how they love to walk after dinner. And I started that walk at 3, got out of the park, or got back to my car at 8. Yes, I am in Tennessee. For those that do not know, I'm in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Anyway, everybody was like, "Oh, you're doing it right. You're walking." Fuck you, dude. You're speeding by me and hitting all the stops and getting back to your destination in time. Uh, would I ever do that again? Yeah, if it's warranted. But yeah, whatever. It was a pain in the ass. And then having all my camera gear on my back, that made it even worse. Right now, for all the training I've done in the last few months to start walking with my camera gear so that I can, go on these trips, it all came in handy, every last bit of it. But by the time I got to my car, I thought I was going to die. And here's the kicker, yet again. I think some of you can figure out what I didn't bring with me. I'll let you guys answer it in the chat. But of course, as as it goes, I'm like, fuck that. I don't need it. And yeah, I paid the price. So anyway. No, Aston, I'm not looking at land. Though there is a lot of land in this area that I have looked at last year. Yeah, exactly. Water. I brought no water with me for an 8 mile hike. And I thought to myself, you know what? It was again, I was only going to go 2-3 miles and then turn around. But instead I said, oh, let me go up to that curve. Oh, let me go up to that curve. Oh, you know what? Let me walk down this road. And then it turned into a fucking 8 mile hike. So always bring water with you is what I'm saying. Don't be me. Don't be an asshole. Bring water with you. Because I was destroyed when I got to a restaurant called Cherokee Grill, which was an okay restaurant, not bad food. But I drank that Sprite like I thought I was gonna fucking die. I was like, holy shit, I'm getting too old for this shit. That's the bottom line. Would I live in Tennessee? Absolutely. I would absolutely live in Tennessee. Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the states that won't take taxes out of my pension. So I absolutely would live in a state like this. So anyway, guys, back to the problems at hand. A lot of colleges are in a race right now, especially medical colleges, are in a race to see who could develop and put what arm tickets in what food. That is seemingly the big to-do amongst colleges and colleges with, labs and things of that nature. They're probably getting grants from the government to do so. I can't see them not getting a grant, because why would you want to put this stuff in food? And the thing is, a lot of, Tennessee, if you're going to put this in food, you have to label it, and then you have to put it somewhere not where people can mistakenly grab it. Because as somebody said, what if people are allergic to this stuff, right? We don't know what they're using. I think they're using the M arm ticket, the modified arm ticket. I think they're putting that in the foods, but they didn't say which ones. They just said arm tickets as a whole. So if they're putting this in foods and water-based foods, again, foods that you keep cool, foods that you put in your fridge, right? I mean, some people don't put tomatoes in their fridge, but others do. That's going to give it longevity. But you're altering the DNA of that food, whether it's lettuce, tomatoes, tobacco, I don't know so much, but definitely lettuce, tomatoes. Again, they're doing it with different fruits right now. I know that they were working on apples and bananas, and there was a problem with apples. And I think there was one of the chemicals in apples that were giving the arm ticket a run for their money, from what I remember reading. But anyway, with that, guys, this is definitely going to be an issue in the near future with foods, because they're already making us sick with the food we're eating. Making us sick with the food we're eating. I mean, listen, there's a nice movement growing right now on the internet, right now, because everybody's catching on. Everybody's looking at it and going, yo, almost, I would say 70% of the foods we sell here are not allowed in other countries. In fact, Japan just got rid of a bunch of cereals because they saw an uptick in people getting sick there, especially with cancers. And anything with BHT in it is illegal in a lot of countries. But here in the United States, we still go about eating it. And it's on the label, guys. I mean, the BHT is on there. So when you go through a lot of the foods, right? When you read the ingredients, which we all have to do now, BHT is one of the things you should not be eating, as it has a lot of bad properties. And here's the catch, guys. For all of the chemicals that are in all the foods that are sold here in the United States, all of it is inflammatory. That's number one. Inflammation in the body is what damages us and makes us fat, stroke in the bodies, and in some case on the cellular. So there's a nice push going against that. Now, with the new tickets that they're working on for the new event that's coming up around the corner, I think just in time for election season, so that, guess what? Nobody has to go out and cast a ballot, right? We're definitely, guys, going to see some interesting shit. Listen, something interesting, and again, I can't wait, is going to happen for the election. Something's going to get out of control. Something's definitely going to go down. I don't know how bad it's going to get. I wish I could tell you guys. Again, be aware of people that can tell you what's going to go down exactly. There are people pointing me to channels. If you're listening to Mike Rivas, he'll tell you exactly what's going to... No, the fuck he doesn't. Nobody knows. Unless there's an elite that has somebody like an outsider that they're telling all this information to, then maybe. Can we put a lot of things together and figure it out? Absolutely. We're watching things unfold now. We know that there's definitely going to be another event, and it's going to be because of this bird crap, right? Where they're already starting and they're already gearing up the campaign for arm tickets. So again, guys, this is all things that we are unfortunately going to have to go through yet again. I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to go through it. I don't care if you living on this planet, if you're living in this country, you unfortunately going to go through it again, right? I know certain states are going to fight back, certain cities are going to fight back, but if you live in cities like New York, you're screwed. My exit strategy, guys, is, like I said, not even working on it. I already have it planned out. Now all that has to happen is what I think is going to happen, and then I activate my plan, and then I'm gone. I'm out of New York, right? Because this city can absolutely, or that city can absolutely kiss a dick. But places like Tennessee, I wouldn't mind moving to. Gatlinburg, not so much. Around the Gatlinburg area, yes. I was talking to a lady who is from Townsend, right, which is a couple towns over. She says that Californians are ruining Tennessee. I was like, no shit. I said, they're infectious bullshits here too? She goes, yes. She goes, a lot of them are moving into Gatlinburg. And she says they're spreading out like a cancer. I was like, no kidding. Because I did see a bunch of LGBT flags on the way here. And I'm like, one or two in a conservative neighborhood, you're like, all right, whatever. But, yo, there was a lot. And again, there was one with a dot on it. And I think the dot one is like the pedophile one. But whatever. With that, guys, I definitely would move to a place like Tennessee. I know Oklahoma, North Carolina is on the list of places that won't take taxes out of my retirement. Oklahoma's not bad. Oklahoma's very cheap. It's very sustainable to live there, at least for me. But there's also the drug problem. Though a lot of my kids, all my kids are older except for my 9-year-old. But he lives with his mother in Connecticut, so don't know. Don't have to worry about him, is what I'm saying. But yeah, there's a lot to be said in places like this. I like these quiet towns, and Gatlinburg's not quiet, but a lot of the towns I passed through were definitely quiet. A lot of the towns on the way here were quiet. Now again, guys, this is going to be about a half hour, so I'm going to move over to the Angry Truth channel right after this, talk about a couple of things, nothing crazy, and then I'm going to get something to eat. I didn't eat, I ate when I came off the hike earlier today, but now I'm fucking starving again. So, I have to ask this question. Would you forgive, or do you guys forgive, anyone who turned around and apologized for forcing you to take something you didn't need? As a Japanese leader in Japan, name is Haraguchi. He's a former Japanese Minister of Internal Affairs. Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Yes. Nope. No. No. Nope. Fuck them. Okay. Nope. I want a hippo burger. Okay, that nice. No, hell no. All right, so here it is, guys. Bear with me on this story real quick. So there's a Japanese politician. He was at a rally for people who were rallying against the arm ticket, and this was recent. And he goes on, guys, to say that he apologizes to the people who didn't take the nonsense for the tsunami of people who passed away for taking it, right? So even he recognizes now that people who took the arm ticket passed away, and they had a landslide number there. Like they had some horrendous number of people who passed away for taking it. So anyway, he apologizes, and he goes on to also say that people should be brought up. The World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum should be brought up on criminal charges against humanity. So now he's in it. He's in the fight for us, right? For people who didn't take it, the unvaccinated, if you will. So one of the things he said, and here it is, Haraguchi then shared a deeply personal story about his own health struggle. After receiving the arm ticket, he developed a severe illness, specifically a rapidly progressing form of cancer. This is Haraguchi now. He looks sick too on the stage. He goes, this time last year, I had neither eyebrows nor hair. 2 out of the 3 supposed arm tickets I received were lethal batches. This is a candid account from the guy who, again, he was for it. He was staunch. He was like, yo, you guys have to take this. In fact, he enforced it, or one of the people that thought it should be enforced. But now he's looking at the data. Now he's looking at the people passing away, and he's like, shit, I fucked up. And that's basically what he said in his speech. He said that he screwed this up. So again, could you forgive some? And here's the problem, guys. I know a lot of you said no, but we have to be the bigger people for what's coming next. If we turn into the savages that these people turned into when they were forcing us to take something we didn't need, we're no better than them at that point, right? So I look at certain situations like this where people didn't know. They didn't have the data to do so. Sleepy, not dead. Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. I just realized I didn't say your name. Sorry. All right. Anyway. So again, guys, the whole point to all of this is not to turn out to be the assholes. We already have to deal with assholes. We still don't need to revel in it and become them. Because it's sort of like Animal Farm, right? At the end, the pigs became the humans that they hated so much. We should not become the people that we hate. That is the bottom line to it. Now, Haraguchi being apologetic and even telling a couple stories how he was quieted. He was told to not speak about ivermectin. He was told not to speak about the arm ticket when it started taking people's lives. And now he's on a different stance, and now he's fighting a different fight. So again, if your enemy now becomes your friend, do you still outcast that friend now who was your enemy? But anyway, let's go on here. Haraguchi was particularly passionate about the attempts to silence those who question current policies and government actions. He recounted a recent incident where he was banned from speaking on Channel 3, I guess a Japanese channel, after an interview with its president. The other day I spoke with the president of Channel 3 and I was banned. They were trying to silence our voices, he stated. This attempt to censor dissident voices highlighted a critical concern about freedom of speech and expression. They have freedom of speech and expression in Japan. Haraguchi urged the audience to remain steadfast in their resolve, saying they are trying to block our freedom, our resistance, our power. Guys, there's a resistance movement growing on a lot of things. The arm ticket is one of them. The food, the poison in our food, and taxes. There are people that, and I've been talking this revolution shit for a little bit. A lot of you know this, but it's growing. More and more people are definitely on board with fighting against the government in way of not going to work and not paying our taxes. Once we hit them in the face with that, guys, like one guy I was listening to earlier today, he brought up a great point. They told us we didn't have to go to work, or that we couldn't go to work because they said so because of an event that was going on. When it was all clear for them, and when they realized that they can control us, they told us we can go back to work and continue to make money. If, guys, we pad our bank accounts for a few months and we stop going to work for a few weeks, this would absolutely hurt the government. All governments, every last government in every state. If we did this worldwide, we now take back control. Because again, guys, politicians work for us, not the other way around. These politicians have it in their head that we are subjects and not people. It's definitely something, guys, that is growing, and I'm paying more attention to who is looking to fight this now. Because, listen, I know a lot of people are comfortable. A lot of people like their money. A lot of people like their comfortable lives, and they don't want to be disrupted. But you can't keep complaining about the taxes that they keep adding everywhere in this country. They're adding taxes on everything, guys. Everything. The lady I was talking to told me that there were certain taxes they didn't have here in Tennessee that they have now. New York City keeps adding new taxes, though a bit of good news for those that are following the congestion pricing in New York City. Kathy Hochul, that piece of shit, is standing down. They're not going through with the MTA's congestion pricing. At least that was the article I read the other day, Wednesday. I read the article Wednesday. So that's a bit of a good news. And if you're looking to learn more about that story, I spoke about it on the Wednesday midweek report on the Angry Truths channel. But yeah, guys, shit's there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of movement growing, but I think this next event that's coming up, this bird nonsense that's coming up, is going to try to stifle a lot of the movements that are growing. And listen, the government's paying attention. They're watching who's talking. They're watching who's speaking. They're watching movements grow. So with that, guys, if they're watching all this, they know. But we could still hit them in the pockets where it hurts. We could still make it count.
Sonic has like slushies and stuff.
So anyway, in 2 minutes, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to head over to the... You know what? Hold on. I might not even do the angry... I'll talk about the Angry Truth tonight, actually. Sorry. It'll be about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes long. We'll talk about what's going on in California. If you live in California and you're not fighting this back, and again, it's a problem, guys, because what they're doing in California, they're trying to do it in the form of pilot programs. Pilot programs are a segue into implementing policies, but not laws, right? And there's a difference. You can fight against policies, but the politicians having you think that you can't. Policies are just that. They're not laws. They're things that you can break. You don't have to listen to. But they have a lot of us following policies thinking they're laws. But this is something that's going on in California that I can absolutely see growing in other states, because they dropped the seed of idea out there, and now it's going to grow. What's the next time? I'm in LA now. So then you know what's going on. You know that the idea that they dropped in California is going down. But anyway, guys, with that being said, thank you for following me. Thank you for watching. I will be back in New York next week, obviously. I am going to D.C. tomorrow for the Surround the White House event Saturday. So I'll live stream that if it turns into something big. I'll try to live stream. Because you guys remember I tried to live stream the rally. And because so many people were live streaming, I couldn't get it done. So anyway, I'm definitely going to head over there and see what pops off, see if they actually surround the White House. I'd be floored if they get away with it. I actually hope they climb the gates of the White House, because we all know what happens next when that goes down. Anyway, that being said, I will see you guys possibly tomorrow, but for sure next week. Thank you.